Yo, what's going on, guys? Today, I'm going to show you how you can transform the fonts from looking like this to this. Wow! And stay tuned to the end of the video because I have a secret setting that'll make your aim go from this to this. Real quick before we get started, if you can go down the video and like, subscribe, it'd be much appreciated. And with that out of the way, let's get on with the setting guide. Alright, so to start, I'd recommend being in the training map so you can see what effects these changes have on your game. Alright, first thing to turn on is use enemy team colors. This will make it so that each team has a distinct color. I don't play on controller, so I can't give you the best settings for this. For mouse and keyboard, I play an 800 DPI, and I feel that 40 sensitivity allows me to aim well and turn quickly in intense situations. But this is all personal preference. Anywhere from 30 to 40 is a sweet spot for 800 DPI. Keybinds, again, a personal preference. I play games a little weird and I play with optimal binds. This pretty much means that each finger doesn't have too many keys to press. So yeah, you can copy them if you'd want. There they are. Just keep in mind, this is a very hard thing to get into your head. So if you're a casual player, I'd recommend not changing your binds too much. Just figure out which fingers are being utilized too much and which aren't being used enough, and find out what's comfortable. In accessibility, there's not much to change. You don't have to change colorblind mode. It's not like Fortnite where it makes you see better in the storm. Subtitles, turn them off. You don't need them in this game. Motion blur, we'll get to that later. And crosshair, we'll get to that later. For audio, I just turned down the music a little bit so it's not blasting in stressful situations. Same with dialogue, it's not important in this game. Output, switch to the type of audio device you're using. In my case, I'm using stereo headphones. And turn on night mode, as it boosts audio a bit, which makes it easier to hear footsteps. Voice chat, turn it on or off if you want. I'll play with the 3 stacks, so I don't need it on. Just make sure your input and output devices are correct. Finally, in video, I set it to full screen, just so you have the lowest latency as possible. For the resolution, I'd highly recommend stretch res. This will make enemies way wider and give you a nice FPS boost as well, which is very helpful in this game because this game is not that well optimized. The only downside is that enemies will strafe faster, but if you have good aim, it won't be a problem. Using a 1440p monitor, I suggest using 1440 by 1080, and if you're playing on 1080p monitor, I heard 1680 by 1050 is good. Disable frame generation. This pretty much gives you more frames, but at the cost of higher latency, which you don't want in a competitive shooter. VSync as well, this also increases latency. NVIDIA Reflex low latency, either turn this on or on plus boost. If you have a high-end GPU, I'd recommend using on, but if you have a low MPC, try on plus boost, and compare what gives you higher FPS. For resolution scaling method, if you have an NVIDIA GPU, use DLSS. If you have an AMD GPU, use AMD FSR2. In my case, I have an NVIDIA card. Below that, we have the upscaling quality. For this, you'll have to test out and see what gets you the closest to your monitor's refresh rate as possible, while also giving you good picture quality. In my case, I have a pretty high MPC with the 240Hz monitors, so quality or DLA is perfect. Field of view, I'd recommend setting this 100 so you get the most visibility. This will have a minor impact on FPS because it has to render more things in view, but you get a competitive advantage of seeing more. If you're on a low MPC, just leave it on default. This one's very important. Motion blur, turn this off. It makes the game feel like garbage and less smooth. Also, turn off lens distortion, doesn't do much. For ray tracing, I highly recommend turning this setting to static. It has a huge impact on performance, and you shouldn't sacrifice FPS for advanced lighting in a competitive shooter. For view distance, it depends on how powerful your computer is. Putting it on low does not affect the distance at which you can see players. It affects the distance objects are rendered in high poly counts. Turning it to ultra doesn't give you a competitive advantage. It all just depends on how powerful your computer is. Scroll between them to see what's best for you. As you can see, the trees and building changing in the background. In my case, I like to keep it on high. Anti-aliasing, keep that low. Shadows, low, we don't need them. Post-processing, put it on low. Texture quality depends on how much VRAM your GPU has. Follow this chart to see what's best for your system. In my case, I have a 12GB GPU, so high is good. Effects, put them on low. Foliage, put on low. And global illumination resolution, put it on low as well. Finally, we move on to my secret setting to improve your aim significantly. If you've played this game, I'm sure you've noticed how much gun sway there is, which can block your vision of what you're shooting and make it difficult to hit your shots. To negate this, if you have a gaming monitor, I suggest you turn on this setting. Not all gaming monitors have this setting, but in my case, I have an LG gaming monitor. Going to my monitor settings and selecting game adjust, I can select the crosshair that will display on my monitor. Using this, you can see at all times where the center of your screen is, so you don't have to rely on swaying iron sights or reticles. I'd recommend using your monitor's reticle instead of a software reticle, as some people have gotten banned for using them. You will not get banned using your monitor's crosshair, as it is a feature on your monitor that can only detect you if you're using a third-party software. Finally, we'll change our crosshair to green to match our monitor's crosshair, and we'll turn off center dot as we're using our monitor's center dot. This way, if you hip fire, you can still see the spread. Alright guys, that's it for the settings tutorial. If you found this helpful, if you guys could please go like and subscribe, as it helps the channel a lot. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.